Hello from Sam and Switch. Today we're going to introduce another activity called a design jogger. So this one's supposed to be a little bit quicker, hopefully, but it still requires a lot of cool design opportunities for you. The key of this one is learning empathy. So we're going to be learning how to help others in the kitchen. So it starts with a good question: how might we? So how might we redesign something in the kitchen to help a senior or someone living with a disability to gain freedom to cook again, or to do some element of cooking? How might we make the tools in the kitchen become barrier-free for seniors and individuals with disabilities? So today we want you to provide a clear improvement in your design to an existing product or something that you find in the kitchen, or you can create something completely new. And you'll probably identify this problem if you interview somebody that's either a senior or somebody with a disability. So that's the first goal, is to spend some time with these people, whoever you identify. It could be a relative or somebody that you know about in the community, and see how they currently struggle in the kitchen with a certain tool, and then go about wondering and asking questions about how they themselves would improve it, and then see if you can apply some of that to your redesign. Okay, and the whole idea is to help assist them with whatever they're doing. Okay, so empathy is the key for this assignment. Without empathy, you will not be able to create products with a positive impact upon others. Without empathy, you are just creating products for yourself. We must learn to see people and respond to their specific needs. If we leave out empathy in our design process, then you leave out a human element, and then your end product will not be as impactful to that person. So empathy means really spending time with somebody, getting to know them, getting to know what it is that they need in their life, and then you design a product to meet that need and with them in mind. And when you do that, then you're sure to impact other people that might be in a similar circumstance. Okay, so that's the key today. And for this project is to actually talk to somebody. So when you finally meet with somebody, and then you decide what product or tool you're going to work on in the kitchen, you're going to create some drawings for them so they can kind of identify and see what you're working on. So if you're doing a kitchen peeler or scissors or a knife that is easier to hold, or a fork or a spoon, whatever it is, something from the kitchen drawer, you're going to draw 10 to 15 of those items on a little piece of paper, and these are called thumbnails. And so I encourage you to research what a thumbnail drawing is and start working on practicing that. It's a good way to communicate with other people about your idea. So make 10 or 15 small little drawings, and then from those 10 or 15, you can either show it to the client, have them pick one that they think looks best or would perform the best, and then you'll complete one big drawing, maybe on 8x10 paper, and this is called a product rendering. So it's a larger drawing. It's something that you can almost do life size and then measure out. And if you do measure it, you can measure it in millimeters, and that'll help you in your next step of making a Tinkercad file. So you're going to take your drawing, convert it into a 3D model in Tinkercad, and so you'll have to learn how to use Tinkercad or come to the library for pointers on that. You can also get your own account. It's free, tinkercad.com. And so you just go on there, create an account, and start learning how to make shapes. And from there, you'll create a 3D printed prototype. The model that you make on Tinkercad, you can print. So you'll print it at the library. That'll be your first prototype to check to see if it works. If you're just making a handle for an existing spoon or something like that, then you can make sure it actually fits and works. So before you get to prototyping, there's a lot of measuring and a lot of making sure it works. Sometimes you will actually create the thing out of cardboard, make sure it works the way you want it to. So this prototyping session can take quite a while. Okay, so finally you made a file on Tinkercad, you printed it, and then you you're going to make a finished model prototype. So this is the last prototype. It fits perfectly. You can even sand it down and make it look wood or metal or whatever material that you choose. And then you'll present it to the client, to the person that you spent time empathizing with. See how it works for them. Do they still have struggles with it? And if they do, that's your last, not your last chance, but it's one of your big chances to test it out, make sure it works, and then make changes to it. So this process is called the design thinking process. Empathy is crucial to it. If you don't empathize with somebody and you just think somebody needs something, you'll probably be wrong. So think about that. So that's your design brief, the things you're going to create, and the things that we expect to see. Okay. This is just something I like to remind people of. While you're designing, you may come to some point where you want to switch and change directions. That's called a pivot. So remember that the challenge you start with may end up changing based on your findings and empathy experiences you have had with people. Don't be afraid to follow your curiosity and the true needs of those that you interview. When we change direction in any phase of the design process, it is called a pivot. So follow your curiosity and pivot as you need. Don't fear the pivot. Okay? So that's pretty much it for the challenge today. Just remember, we'll go back, that we need you to look at making thumbnail drawings. So little drawings, make 10 or 15 of them, and that will make them all of one subject. So if you're redesigning a spoon, then draw 15 spoons with a different kind of handle for people to hold to make it easier for them. So stick to one subject, make 10 or 15, pick your favorite drawing or thumbnail, and make that your biggest drawing. You're going to redraw that into a large full scale and then make measurements. From those measurements, you can create it on Tinkercad. So that's the process I go through when I create something, and so it's something that the only thing I know how to share. But the biggest part before you get to drawing and creating is to spend some time with somebody that has a disability or is struggling in the kitchen. So they could be someone older or with arthritis or that has maybe had a stroke. These are all things that people need after those things happen. So you can maybe go to a hospital or a local senior center and talk to somebody. And if it's just the nursing staff, they also, or occupational therapists know a lot. So those are good professionals you can consult with. So that's the challenge for today, is to recreate a kitchen tool that will help somebody out in the kitchen. And it should be something you can fit in a drawer. Nothing with machines or just everything that's mechanical that we use already with our hands. So good luck, and we can't wait to see what you make. Thanks.